right. Let's see here. Morning, work diver. Good to see you, man. So, Sagar, good to see you, man. Save. So I'm already getting in on a position on save. 200 shares long, actually, believe it or not. Um, there was a report of an offering, probably, undoubtedly, to help the company and maybe help soften the blows of some of the losses that they've taken. So just through all the COVID mess. So I think it's going to be something pretty similar to what we saw with was it Pinterest yesterday? I better make sure of that before I. There was a stock I did trade to the long side the other day where that was kind of the. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't Pinterest. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty bullish on this just because it's taken a pretty good hit here, and the market as a whole is doing well today. Of course, there was a gap up, but the market could drop, and there could be a gap fill to the downside. So, obviously, if save dropped below 970, I'd have to get out. So right now I'm just coming in with 200 shares. I would like for it to drop down into the 70s so that I could size in with another 200 shares. I'd like to get a 400 share position on this. because I think we can break up through these levels here and make our way up to, you know, maybe at least the 1050s. And I feel like that would be, you know, that would be pretty solid, a pretty solid move on 400 shares. And I would might even consider adding into it, picking up maybe a total of 600 shares if it really looked bullish. So anyway, but I am going to want to be alerted if the price hits 9, we'll say 976. We'll even say 976 on the bid add. Okay, and I'll also want to be notified if we hit 9996 on the ad. So that way I can move on to some of these other ones here. Now, Sauger, I'm sure you are probably watching GNUS. And GNUS actually does look strong. You know, I don't do well with stocks like this, so I don't know. I don't think I'm going to trade it. Yeah, I don't know. But then watch this be the one that runs up, you know, to crazy levels here. So what I may do is catch it. I'd at least be interested if it could break $1.50. So I'll add that. That would be interesting. Other than that, I'm going to remove it from the watch list. Apple, gonna probably remove from the watch list. Tesla, yeah, probably gonna remove Tesla from the watch list as well. Just gonna chisel away at a lot of these here. mRNA, obviously, you know, making some pretty stealthy moves. MGNX from yesterday. This may end up being difficult to trade. I did get 1,000 shares for shorting. Now, just, you know, kind of just to give some perspective here, I do not plan on shorting 1,000 shares of MGNX, but I just, you know, with stocks like this, you want to have enough to build a position. You know, if you get into one of these situations where you're pretty confident that it's going to hit certain levels of resistance, and get, you know, you want to be able to build up that position, just kind of like I did on Wayfair the other day, to where if it's remaining strong, it'll at least give enough of a pullback to where you've brought your average up to, so that you could get out with a lesser of a loss, or even, you know, just, you know, no loss at all. Maybe get out break even. That's the only reason I got 1,000 shares on this, and I do not fully intend on using those 1,000 shares. I really don't think I will use any more than 400 shares. But I'm also kind of expecting a breakout of these levels and a continuation up to these areas right here. Look at these areas right here. I think there's going to be significant resistance at 32. What is it? 32.49, is it? It's hard to get a good read on these dadgum light speed charts. But basically 32.49, 32.76, somewhere up in the 32s. You know, it might even squeeze up a little, you know, tap 33 something and then come back down for a pullback. I think at that point there would be enough. I would at least be justified at beginning to average in, you know, 100 shares at a time to get a good drop. So let's see here. So I will probably want to be alerted on MG and X. I mean, you know, and here's the thing with these stocks. You know, like this really could just drop and come all the way back down to these levels today. It would be very interesting if it did, because typically on stocks like this, there's going to be another run up. There's going to be another run up, and so you just got to be very, very, very careful with this. So Sauger keeps calling out GNUS. Oh, snap. Well, that's not good. But this does kind of make you want to get in for a quick bounce. You know, you could. I'd be interested. And you could take 1,000 shares here and have a really tight stop on it. I mean, let's see. 61 to 50 would be interesting. Man, somebody just dumped a lot of shares. And everybody, of course, is going for the dead cat bounce here. Good job, Yoni B. Good swing trade on PTON, man. I got to give it to you. Got to give it to you, man. TWLO is one that I think, you know, we've broken out to all-time highs. There's no previous areas of resistance. I think it could drop down to the 150 to 151 levels and then get a bounce there off of these daily levels over here. SAVE steadily coming down. That's good. Oh, I called it? Well, I mean, I figured, you know, if it broke that 3808, you know, that the sky would be the limit. But at the same time, I did not expect anything like that. I don't think I would have held through all that either, Yoni B. But good job, really good job with that. Nice. Well, good job. Good job. Let's see. VIAC seems to continue to lose steam. I'm going to be watching this one too. We're sitting on this moving average, and I think it could, you know, end up squeezing up. So I may go long on that one. Save. Okay, so save actually finally made it down. So I would really like to get in another 200 shares. I'm going to have to set another alert on this. 975 bid. So let's look back here. BYND, you know, it's lost some momentum, you know, but so I'm almost wondering if this was just a bunch of hype, and if it's going to end up, you know, getting a good little pullback today, especially if SPY ends up getting a pullback. You can see what SPY is doing right now. There was a gap up, but you know, we're still hitting these areas up here. I almost still kind of see it as resistance. But we are maintaining, you know, on top of that 9 moving average. And of course, if we break out 289.25, I think we'll see a significant move up. I really do. And if we crack 279.13, obviously that's going to be quite the bearish move. And what we could be potentially forming is a head and shoulders pattern here. This could be forming the head. This could end up coming down to here, to the neckline, and then forming another shoulder, and then eventually rolling over. You know, I still feel like we're going to get some kind of a retest, even if it's just down to these areas right here, and then we move up. But for today, you know, I don't know. I think 289.25 is the breakout point for longs. And again, 279.13 is definitely the areas where the bears will maintain full control on this. So there's that. Again, BYND, what I would want to see is I would want to see resistance, continued resistance up at the 130 mark. And I think if we can get continued resistance up at the 130 mark, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to put an alert at 129.22 on the ask, because once it gets up there, I'm going to want to watch to see what happens here. I mean, there could be a massive breakout, but Roku is another one, and the only reason I've got this up here, it's not like it's got a ton of volume in pre-market, but I like this daily bull flag here. So we're either going to get a breakout here on Roku today, or we'll get a rejection, and it may just piddle around for another few days before a breakout. Again, a lot of this is going to be dependent on how much volume comes in. So that's the key. We're going to have to look for volume, and right now there is no significant volume, but I've got it here. And really, I just wanted to put it up here to set an alert at 132.74 and then 135.47. So let me get that in there. So Roku 132.74 and 135.47, I think it was. So yeah, 135.47. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the list. PTON, I typically have a rule, and I think you guys have heard me talk about this before, not too short into any stock that has no previous area of resistance. I mean, Piton could go up to $150 for all we know. But there are going to be some telling signs. I think, one thing here is you've seen it maintain the 15, these moving averages on the 15, pretty faithfully, pretty much since yesterday. Pretty much since, since, lost it here, recovered, lost it here, recovered. So it's very possible that we could lose it again, and there would be enough of a move here just to get in a quick scalp. Even if it ends up recovering it. But what I would be looking for is for it to come down, to come back up to the 20 on the 15 minute and get rejected under that 20. And then I would feel confident that we might have seen the top. But again, if this seems like, even out the gates, if I can catch it, if it seems like it's going to get a flush and there's going to be a ton of profit taking, I may just jump in with, I don't know, something light, maybe 100, 200 shares just to try to get a quick scalp to the downside. Not something that I would stay in at all, because it is right now, it is a strong stock. But these stocks, there's so many stocks like this that get these massive run-ups, and then they get this flush. And where shorts usually go wrong, where bears usually go wrong, is they think it's going to be tanking. They think this thing's going to come all the way back down to $40, right? And so they jump in on it all happy and thinking, man, this is great. I'm going to make all this money. And then it ends up getting a massive buy up, and then they get squeezed out. That's happened to me before. I've seen it many, many times. But again, so it would not be at these levels right here. There would be nothing bearish long term, but I would take it. I would be comfortable taking this to the short side, like I said, for a very temporary drop at the market open, just for all the investors who are, taking profits right now. I mean, think about people who got in down here, and even people that got in here. And there's probably a lot of these people that once it got up to here, they were taking profits, but then think about the people that got down here. I mean, they've seen a pretty massive run up. So Lyft is another one. I'm going to remove that. I don't really care too much. Uber got a nice pop, and it could end up getting a solid drop today, but that's a harder stock for me to trade. NCLH, this is one where, I mean, it keeps coming down to these levels at roughly, you know, between 1060s um, and $11. But I really do want to see if NCLH can get down to the um, 1060 levels and actually break. So I'm going to set an alert NCLH at 1090 on the bid. You know, because I think if it comes down to 1090, I think it's very possible that we will get a good, I mean, here on the daily chart, if you look at this daily chart, it's touched this area so many times. I can see it flushing. I can see it finally flushing, and that's the only reason I've got this here. You know, so let me go ahead and remove that. Let's get on save here, and okay, so because we're so close to pre-market, I am not going to add on save. As a matter of fact, if we break below 70, I'm probably going to want to get out, just because I'm going to be watching a lot of other stocks here. So looks like it's holding. Looks like it's holding, guys. Looks like we could get a good strong move up. MGNX, of course, you know, same thing here as with PTON. Could get a massive drop out the gates, just enough to get a scalp. But I really feel like MGNX is going to end up getting bought up today. And then, of course, we've got Boeing and Zoom and mRNA down here, and we'll just see what happens. But I'm not really trading those today. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, someone has to take profits, Yoni B. But I still think that even with that being said, I still think that there's a lot of opportunity on PTON to go up. You know, and it looks here. I mean, there you might get a breakout here. So if save drops below 74, I'm gonna probably get out. Stop. And right now, it's looking like it wants to get bought up. And so I will consider adding to my position if it does. I'm going to get out, or we're going to keep it moving. Save looks like it's maintaining here. So if we get that drop below 74, I'm going to want to get out. There we go. Getting a nice spike up here, looks like. See if we can make that move. There we go. It's a nice move up. Okay, so now You know, if it comes back down below 75, let's see. Save 96. So if it comes back below 80, I'm going to want to get out. So stop, sell. Okay. We're going to try to hold on to that. Here we go. See if we can get in. Slow moving. Still think we can get up to 1050. Buying is slowing down a little. There we go. Roku 132.74. Roku's meeting a good spot. Okay, Save is continuing to make a good strong move up. I will consider taking profit at 10.07. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to lock in 20 there, and then we are going to sell the other 100 at pretty much break even. So the other 100 at the break of 90. Okay, stop, sell. And let's see what's going on some of these other trades here. So TWLO. Okay, VIAC. Looks like it could make a move. BYND getting completely hammered. Okay. Losing its lunch. PTON, what did I tell you? Massive sell-off. Tapped almost right here to the T. MGNX. Wow. Very choppy, very whippy. Boeing, ZM. If Save looks like it's going to drop here, I will, let's see, where would we want to get off? At the break of VWAP, so, okay, so stop, sell at 90, stop, sell, just bring it up 1 cent there. VIC, BYND looks like it's trying to pull back. PTON, whippy as ever. Uber, whippy as ever. MGNX. There's a lot of sell pressure on this right now, but honestly, guys, I can't call it. It's got to be very difficult to trade for a lot of people. Zoom, maintaining on the 2 minute. Save. Man, what a drop on Save. Look at that. Okay, and I'm out. I'm out on Save. Massive drop on Save. Almost feel like we could get a good move back. Is it holding that level? Is it holding that level? Guess as long as it holds. Let's see. But if it breaks, it is not going to be a good look. It's breaking. It's breaking. Wow. Lots of sell pressure on save. Okay. Lots of sell pressure on save. Wow. Okay. Well, at least we got enough of a buy up to come into the profit a little. TWLO is making a crushing move to the top. Good job. Good job. Save. We're gonna exit off of that one for right now. VIAC continuing to make a nice move up. Looks like it could be breaking through some levels here at 714. So that seems like a pretty significant area to break through. I personally would wait for maybe some kind of a pullback, but I don't know. That might be the only pullback we get. SPY's looking weak. I don't know how that would play into VIAC. It'd be interesting to know how that would play into it. BYND still kind of losing its lunch. Massive flush. Great move on BYND. Wish I had kind of gotten in on that one. Looks like it's getting bought up a little. So BYND, I would be prone to want to get in, here at maybe the 9 EMA, but I think I'd be good to get in there if it got up there to the 9 EMA. So I'll keep a watch on it. I'll go ahead and put in an order for 50 shares at 123.63. I'll do 123.43. 50 shares. So if it gets up there, it gets up there. If not, oh well. Let me confirm here. Yeah, and it could even move up to, so I'd probably want to get in another at 124.43. And the first one would be 123.73. So if we can get a pullback up to there, that would be good. SPY's chopping. SPY's having a really hard time picking a direction. PTON, it's like it's wanting to get bought up. So this can be pretty volatile, guys. I'd be careful on it. MGNX is getting bought up. And this could be the short squeeze. So this is what happens, guys. I'm telling you, I've seen this a million times. There'll be a massive sell-off. All these shorts, it'll break all these, key areas right here. And you got all these shorts thinking, man, this is going to drop. This is going to go all the way down, yada, 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 whatever. And then it starts getting bought up and they get squeezed out. Now, if this cannot break, previous day close, then it may be possible that we actually do ultimately get that move down. And again, I don't know how the SPY is going to play into any of this, but just watch what this does. If this breaks out, we're probably going to go higher, and we're probably going to test for the, the 35 levels, the 30, 32, 33 levels. So I think we have an amazing opportunity to get there. And right now, what we'll see is just a bunch of these shorts getting squeezed out. So BYND just totally losing its lunch here, man. So what I would look for now is some kind of area of support, and it looks like we could get some right around 116. I tell you what, though, this is one of those ones where I don't know if I want to catch the falling knife. 116.64 though seems like a legit area to catch that falling knife, and so I think I'd be okay with trying to catch it. But I really want to see So 117.07, I'd really like to see at least the retest of that, and if it can't break, otherwise I want to get in at 116, where was it, 116.64. So just in case it doesn't completely touch, actually it'd probably blow through it, in all honesty. So 116.34 is probably where I would want to get in. So I'm going to put an order there. We'll see if it comes down and catches it. 116.34. And then I would probably take another 50 shares at 114.34 if we didn't get a quick pop. 117. $34. Let me just see here. Let's see what this might end up doing. Well, this could get a significant flush. We'll just watch. We'll watch. We'll see if we get a possible turnaround on this. TWLO, PTON, continuing with a downwards trend. Okay, so PTON is unlike MGNX, which seems to be getting bought up. MGNX really is kind of whippy right now. It's not really choosing a direction, but PTON seems to be continuing to get hammered. So I think the level to be watching here would be roughly around 42. BYND. Okay, so here's what's happening with BYND. It's gotten to the point right now with BYND that I think if it broke that 5-minute, it would actually flush past the 116 point. So I would leave an order at 114.34 just to see if it could go down, grab it real quick, and then bounce back up to the 116s, make a quick $100 profit there. On the 1 minute, we're coming up on the 9 EMA. On the 2 minute, still have a lot of room to go. And if it recovers VWAP, we'll look for potential VWAP fake out rejection off of these levels. And the only reason I say it is because we've got a lot of support here that could act as previous resistance. As a matter of fact, I think, yeah, really up here, yeah, 122.08 I think would act as resistance. Anywhere from 122.08 all the way up to 124, roughly 124. So if we get that quick pop, as a matter of fact, 122.08, I would be okay with starting in at, I'd start with 50 shares, 122.08, 50 shares at a time, and then 121. 68 is where I would take it. So if it pops up, and I think we could go all to 124.08. So even if it doesn't come back and pick up my order there, I will definitely be looking to re-add. Okay, let's see. Okay, so pause there. Okay, this could actually come up to 122.48. Sell there. $124.48. Sell there. So and came almost right up to 122. It's not really pushing through, guys. We could get a burst up here. Might even want to move this up to 122.78. $120. 228 for a quick scalp. Looks like it's getting that VWAP projection, guys. Looks like it's getting that VWAP projection. So oof. It's fighting to maintain above VWAP so we could get a massive short squeeze. So might be best to put this up to 123 or 122.98. They're gonna do it. It's having a hard time, guys. It's really having a hard time maintaining above VWAP. I feel like it's very possible we're going to get a rejection here. It's fighting it. We'll see. I'm going to have to come back to that one. BYND can be extremely tricky. TWLO is just on a massive, massive tear. Looks like we ought to make some sort of move back. Where is the breakout? 162.56. So I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot here. Obviously, if it breaks over 162.56, I'll consider taking it. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take it. We'll give it another shot here in a minute. Is it having a failed? If it has a fail here, this will be pretty good. Okay, let's see. It's like it could really lose a lot here. Might not though, so we're going to be ready to jump out if we have to. See if we can finally get this down here. There we go. It's a good move there. Good move there. See if we can get the break right there. Doesn't seem to want to get over there. There we go. There's a nice little move there. And we'll take off. Did not mean to take it off there, but that was dumb. really want to see a lot of follow through back down to these levels here. So see a break of 160. Can we get a break of 160? Would be clutch. It's coming back up to retest 162.75. If it doesn't make the retest, I think it's definitely going to get crushed down to 158, maybe 157. Could be a short squeeze. Let's see. Is it going to push? Yeah, it's getting up there, guys. It's getting up there, so. But if we get a fail here, that'll be pretty significant. That's a bullish candle. That is a very bullish candle. Probably ought to get out and just see what happens, but the thing is if that bullish candle fails, if the bulls think that the bears are about to take over and it fails, or no, excuse me, if the bears think that the bulls are about to take over, if the bulls think that the bulls are about to take over and it fails, that is not going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and come out just to get out because this is just not sure what's going to happen here. And I want to be sure. VIAC, not interested in anymore. BYND, not interested. Well, interested, but just watching from the sidelines. Uber, MGNX has remained as whippy as a whippy stock could be. Boeing, nice move. Love to see this on Boeing. ZM, real nice. Good job, ZM. Good job, Boeing. This is a place where I would feel comfortable starting to build a position. Let's see here. Kind of as it gets close to 130. So I could do I could do 25 here. And I'll just start with 25. And where do we get in? 127.51. So 129.51. I want to get in another 25, so I'll wait for a $2 move. I think it would be fine to do that. Okay, let's see. ZM's getting a little bit of a pullback. TWLO is not quite. I mean, we've got a rollover pattern here, guys. This is what I'm telling you about. You know, like it comes up, and you can see from the top it's wanting to roll. Now, does it mean it's going to roll? No, it does not. It may not roll. It may get a breakout here, especially with this candle. That's the only thing that keeps me from going. You know, I'd rather see like a flat bottom here with this rolling over, you know, because then you know if it breaks that support, it's going to go. But what I would love to see here is a fake out breakout. Love to see a fake out breakout here. This would be, that would be phenomenal. So we'll revisit that. Let's check out Boeing here. Boeing is making a move down. Love to see it break 127. I'd go ahead and add to my position there. Oh, there we go. So we got 50 at a 127.25 average. See if we can get a pullback there. Is that a fake breakout? It's holding that 9 EMA on the 1 minute. Love to see a move down to 126.53. See if we can get that. Okay, we've broke the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. There we go. Getting a nice move on Boeing. See if we can get down to the 126.40 levels for the first take profit. SPY's pulling back. Might be helping it a bit. Let's see. If it looks like it's going to come back for a retest, I'll just get out. There we go. 126.70. Come on. There we go. Okay, take first profit if we can get it. Okay, going to take first profit there. See if we can get a continued flush through 126. There we go. 2 minutes sitting on the 9 EMA. Really love to see us break down through there. 1 minute. Okay. Okay, coming out, break even. Let's wait for a pullback. See what kind of a pullback we can get. There we go. So Boeing's making a nice little pullback here. Zoom, want to see volume die off. Zoom looks like it could, this is a great area for it to make a pullback, but again, would love to see volume die off. TWLO clearly broke out and it's going to keep going. PTON maintaining downside momentum. Might be finding resistance or support at 42. We'll have to see. Let me check the 1 minute chart here. So very well could be. That's interesting. We'll see. Boeing making a full-blown recovery. So these stocks are still strong. So I'm glad I got out break even on those last 25. We're up 43.41 on the day so far. What a recovery on Boeing. Good recovery. So I would look to add at 129. Let's see, 129. Where are we on the daily here? 131.50. So I think 129.50 would be good to add another 25 shares there. Unless we get, if this ends up being a rejection, SPY's weakening. This could be still considered a point of rejection for Boeing. Might be worth taking. $127.66. Might be worth taking another 25 shares here. Let's see. I mean, if Boeing finds strength, could find some bullish strength here. Okay, it's breaking out. Breaking out. The key is patience. So 128.20 seems to be more resistance there. 128.83. But who knows how far this could go. I think 130s is a safe bet for Boeing. 130s seems to be a place of continued resistance over time. So I'm definitely looking to start jumping in with another 25 shares at 129.50. And if it breaks through it a little, that's fine. We can just continue moving from there. PTON breaking support. Breaking support. Still looking bearish. Man, it's getting hammered. It's getting hammered. But I still wouldn't take a reversal yet, or I still wouldn't go short on it yet, because there's still a lot of consolidation here to break through. Now, granted, it was post-market consolidation, but it's consolidation nonetheless. 140.50. Let's see. Let's look at Uber. MGNX is still whippy as ever, guys. Whippy, chop fest. Man, it's going to be tough to trade today. Boeing making a good clear move up. ZM making a good solid move up. Let's look at Boeing on the 30-minute. Really like what I'm seeing here. We could get all the way up to the 135 levels. So we'll see. We'll see. I think as long as SPY remains strong, that could be a thing. Let's see. TWLO still making a good strong move up, not really showing any signs of making a pullback here, but I'll tell you what, it looks like, this is kind of a good pullback area, so jump in and just see if we can get a pullback to 164. Where did I get in? 165.09. So let's say 164. I don't know. 29. Would consider See if we can get enough of a flush. Enough of a flush. We just need enough of a flush to pull out there. Come on, there we go. Let's get a little bit more of that move. Ah. Wow. I'll tell you what, it's strong. It's strong, so 164.29. I would actually move it to 163.79. Because if it really flushes, it's going to flush. I think it could come all the way down to 162.75 to be honest with you, but I would want to 163.79 I think is a reasonable spot unless it continues to go. So, and if it does, we'll get out and try again. Let me just see something here. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. $163. This could be a fake out breakout here, and this could, I mean, this really could come pummeling all the way down. So let's see. I'm going to say 163.09. Let's see if we can get a $2 move off those 25 shares. You know, the more that I look at this, I don't know. Probably want to take half profit. Just seems like it's slowing down, but it has held. The only thing that I'm hesitating on, so if you see here, well, on the 2 minute, it has remained above that 9 EMA. But on the 1 minute, it has not really broken through the 20. So if it breaks through the 20, I mean, we can get a good, solid, significant move down on those shares. We'll see. Let me go over to BYND. Let me go over to PTON. So it's PTON finally finding resistance or support. Broke through all this consolidation here. It might be finding support right at $40. So there could be a reversal. There could be a reversal coming here. Let's look at Uber. MGNX. See, it looks like it's wants to get the drop, but it's just not getting the drop. mRNA, Boeing. Oh, ZM, what a beautiful pullback on ZM. What a beautiful pullback. TWLO. I'm going to give this one some time today. It's so far overextended. Now, it could keep going. It could just be steady buy up on it, but it's a more expensive stock. So what I like about this is that, you know, if it shows some clear signs of breaking to the downside, you know, I can add into my position as it's falling, and we can do even better on the trade than what we had originally intended. So, like for example, I think if it breaks 165.06, like if it breaks 165 again, basically, I think I can add to another 25 shares to my position, and I think I would, because it would be breaking that 9 EMA for the first time on the 2-minute, and then I wouldn't have to hold my position as long, or I'd have more to piece out. And then of course the 5-minute 164.71 is a pretty critical level. So let me go ahead and just get ready to do that at 165. Now it may never return. Okay, I may end up having to take a lot. Like if it holds up here and then continues, I may want to consider getting out, because, you know, at that point it's just it's going to be so hard to say how much further it's going to go. Like we want to see clear breaking of some of these levels here. We want to see a clear pullback all the way down here, at least to, you know, the 162.80 levels. But I would love for this to be a spot where we finally start losing momentum. And then it'll be really big here, because if it breaks 164.71 here, you're breaking through the 20 moving average on the 1-minute. And I think there's a lot of retail traders who are looking at that. So I always tell you guys that, you know, the moving averages don't mean as much to me, but I watch them anyway, because I know that they mean so much to other people. So, but guys, I'm going to go ahead and set a stop limit of 25 shares at 165.09 and 164.89. Stop. Sell. Still think we're going to get a move down there, but we'll see. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be right back. And hopefully I'm not coming back to a blown account, right? I don't think I'm going to blow my account off at 25 shares. If anything, you know, I will look for continued weakness and I'll consider adding to my position. So, all right, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. Let's see here. Oh, Piton is getting that reversal. Look at that, guys. What a move. What a move. Good job on Piton. PTON. I don't like calling it Piton. I want to call it PTON. I gotta remember, call it PTON. mRNA, Boeing, Zoom, PTON. Question is could we get, how much of a squeeze up are we going to get here? And are we going to get a squeeze up? And is this going to be a, go down as a 9 EMA rejection? Man, what a great buy up there. What a phenomenal buy up. TWLO is like a rocket ship. It's like a rocket ship. But I tell you what, when it comes crashing down, it is going to come crashing down. I'm going to be extremely patient on the add in. And I don't, honestly, I don't think I'm going to add in anytime soon. But we shall see what this does. PTON making a good solid move up. TWLO. I think it'd be okay starting to add here actually, because it's knocking on the door to 170. But I'd want to see a little bit more confirmed resistance. As a matter of fact, let me think about this for a minute, guys. What I'd really like to do is see how it reacts when it hits the 170 area. I'll tell you this: it's the volume is steady, it's consistent, and it's increasing, but the question is who is going to be buying at the top here? Who is going to be buying at the top? And when we start suffering this massive pullback, who is going to be in on that? That's the question. And when it starts coming back, I think we know there's going to be a pretty massive sell-off. But TWLO has never really had any kind of huge candle like this on the daily. Well, I won't say never. BYND, PTON. PTON looks like it's getting a rejection. Still whippy. MGNX. mRNA, Boeing, ZM. curious. Okay, so Roku made it up to the 135 mark. Did not get a breakout. Made it up there, but it did not get a breakout. That's interesting. Yeah, before adding the TWLO, I'm going to have to see some kind of a, a flag form. Looks like it's rejecting off the 170. It's coming down, but it's tapping on that 20. So we want to see a break of that 20 and a continuation down through 160. Wait, let me see here. So break of that 20 would also be a break, the first break of the 9 on the 2 minute. So the break of the 20 on the 1 minute will be the break of the 9 on the 2 minute. And we'll want to see a confirmed close below that before adding to the position. So this could be the move we were waiting for, but I don't want to get too excited until it breaks that 20 moving average there. But I can definitely see this making down to 163.09. So 167, a break of 167 would be clutch. You gonna get it? This is awesome. Come on. Now, if it holds and it breaks 170, I'll probably need to go ahead and get out. Because what I don't want to get into is a constant, uptrend and whatever. And I'll have to take a little bit of a loss, and that's fine. But, man, if we can break that 166.83 on the 5 minute, we should definitely get a solid move down. So let's just see what it does here. And again, if it breaks, so 169.68 is kind of the stop out point. So maybe 169.50. So 169.51 will be our stopping point. So right now we need to look for it to break that 9 EMA on the 2 minute. Break 167. Stop 167. $167.12. where we'll get in. There it is. We're in 166.08 is the we want to see a continued move to the downside. I want to see a continued move to the downside there. Take out the stop. Really need to see continuation here, guys. Wow, what a strong buy up. What a strong buy up. This could be a short squeeze. Just going to hold. See a continued flush, 166 through 166.50. Really need to see a continued flush here. We want to see that as a failed short squeeze. Just reclaim the 9 EMA. Really want to see a solid move down. Come on. There we go. There we go. Can we get that? Need to break that. See a break of 166.52. Come on. Let's get a fail here. There we go. Need to break 166.52. I'll tell you what, guys, it's a strong stock. It's a strong stock. So just does not want to resolve. But we're going to give it a shot. Try to give it a shot here. There we go. Okay, we're starting to get into the profit a little here. See if we can get that move. Come on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is okay, it's touching on that. I want to see it break this candle and break this 9 EMA. Come on. There we go. Okay, I'm going to come out half there, taking a little bit of a loss on that first bit. But we now have a 167.07 average. And I would still like to take those shares at 163.09. 162.99. So, beautiful move here. Let me think about that for a minute. 163.09. Yeah. I'll take half. I'll take 10 off at 164.07. And then I'll take the other 15 off at 162.07 if we can get down there. Okay, we're breaking and we're dropping, but we really need to see a continued move down there. I don't think I can get to 162.07. I mean, it would have to break VWAP and break through all that consolidation there, but let me just see. Maybe 162.77. I think it could. So 164.09 for the first 10 shares, or 164.07, excuse me. And getting very tempted to take those shares off right now. Let me see what it's looking like. I mean, we've cracked below. We should be, guys, we should be able to make a good solid move down. There's probably going to be a little bit of a pullback, but I'm going to give it one more chance to just come crashing down. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take half off right there. So we got 13 left at 162.77. I'll see if I can keep those other 13 there. All right. I'll put my stop on those last 13 shares at 165.76. Wait, is that good? Let me double check that. We're facing possible support here. I'd want to see a break through 163.61. Yeah, if TWL comes over 165.76, I've got to get out. And I can just reset my position. Ooh, touched right up there. Look at that. It's remaining weak. See if we can get the push, or the pull, excuse me. See if we can get more of the pull. Now I know if it breaks 165.76, we're going to be done. There it goes, almost. Or I might add two. Let me just see. Okay, 167.07. I'm up 50 on the day. But what I don't want is to get caught in some V-shaped recovery on this. And I don't know if that would happen. It might. It might. But wow, how awesome it would be if we could continue to get a sell-off past 164.30. I would almost want to even put in another 13 shares at that point, just to see if I can make another 13 bucks on the way down. Then I could come out a little earlier than I had originally or initially intended. 163.59. This is it. This is it, guys. This could be where it's starting to form support, and we may get a turnaround. So, nope. Well, maybe. Is this a fake out breakdown? Fake break? Fake break? We're going to get a fake break? Or are we going to get that move we're looking for? 162.81. Trying to be patient. That might have been a fake out. And if so, we're going to get squeezed here. And we have a chance of getting squeezed, we'll say. Man, look at this. Look at this. They're trying. They are desperate for a squeeze. This could be it. It's reclaiming that 9 EMA. Okay, coming out. All right. Coming out. We'll look to enter another position if we can get a pullback. So it looks like we're gonna start getting a little bit of a bounce here. So I'll leave that one alone for now. BYND. And then guys, I'll answer some of the questions that have been coming through. Sorry, I have been so unattentive. I feel like I have to keep apologizing for that. But MGNX, look at this. Look, this is why I try to tell everybody, man. Like stocks like this on day 2 are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Look at all these wicks. Look at all this choppiness. It's ridiculous. I mean, it just is. Let's see. Came up to previous close, didn't break out. Be interested to know if it if it does. Yeah, we would have to have volume pick up in a certain direction, confirm momentum in one direction or another for me to even halfway feel comfortable with getting in on that trade. ZM continues to make a pullback. Boeing is chop fest. I'm not going to mess with that right now. TWLO we'll revisit. BYND keeping a side look on that. PTON. Man, I missed that reversal. Saw it, didn't know for sure. Should have taken my chances. Spy's chopping around. It broke above a key level. Let's see, what was the level we were looking for on Spy? We were looking for a break of 289.25. Okay, so it didn't quite get that break, but it broke above the previous day high, and then it came back below VWAP. Now it's getting bought up above VWAP, and it's just sideways action today right now on the Spy. TWLO, if this gets a failed breakout here, I will be looking to add at the break of 64.30. I'd be interested in adding there anyway. So tell you what I really need to see is that 5-minute close. Think about all the people that were buying up here, guys. And I called 170. I told you guys 170 was a good psychological number there. I should have added, but honestly, there was one point here. I don't know if I announced it. Maybe I did. I was at least thinking to myself, man, this would be a good place to add. Because I got to this point to where I thought, if it breaks over 170, I'll probably just need to get out. And 169.68 became that ultimate breaking point. But I remember thinking, this would be the place. Just take 25 shares, because if you lose another 50 cents on an extra 25 shares, I mean, it's not really going to be that devastating. And man, I really should have added there. I think I ended up adding for the breakdown here at 167. Yeah, it was at 167.12 I added. And that's where we picked up the 50 shares. But man, what a good fail here. Would definitely want to see a break of 164.30. It would be very interesting to see where that would go. We just lost. We opened a new 5-minute candle with a very bearish 5-minute candle there below the 9 EMA. We're still below all major moving averages on the 1-minute and the 2-minute. All major intraday moving averages, that is. 164.68. I think if it breaks 164.50, I mean, right now this could be forming a wedge. We could be looking at a wedge pattern here. So let's just kind of look here and see what we got going on. So we need to see a breakdown of this wedge. So 164.68. I would think about adding anywhere between there and 164.28. So 164.50 for me is kind of the point where I would want to add. And I think from there, I think I could at least get a $50 to $70 move, depending on, I mean, if it comes down and, continues to break VWAP or whatever. But this is what we're looking at right now. We're going to look at this tightening pattern here. Five-minute. Guess I could risk $50 right here, but With a stock this strong, with no previous area of resistance, you know, I'd rather short into confirmation rather than anticipation. And so right now, you know, this is a good middle ground level to go ahead and get in on, right? And you could go ahead and short in anticipation of it actually coming down and breaking through this wedge. Okay, but the problem with and you know, this stop is fairly close by. You know, you're risking, I wouldn't be risking quite $50. Now I could do it with 25 shares. I'd feel better about going short with 25 shares in anticipation because my loss would be even that much smaller. But you can see so it broke out of that wedge. So now I don't want to do anything. Now I don't want to do anything. Although let me look at the 2 minute. Let me look at the 5 minute. Yeah, it's still doesn't mean that it's not going to still break down. But the odds are more in the favor of the bulls right now. Really does look like there. I mean, and even if it doesn't get, you know, bought all the way up here today, even if it doesn't, you know, I think at least in the short term, this looks like it's going to be a more bullish move. But I would like to see what happens to this 5 minute candle. If we can, on this 5 minute candle, if we can close back below the 9 EMA once again, and then break this candle's low and come back through that wedge, I think I'll feel pretty bearish on it, because you got to think all the people that are up here that are trying to wait for a dead cat bounce, or they're trying to wait for a quick pop. If they see that fails here, there's going to be a lot of selling, even through VWAP. And I think we could easily break back down to, you know, the 160 level. We could even end up coming all the way back down here into the, you know, mid 150s. So this really we really need to see a good quick bullish pop here. And it looks like we're getting it. We might have even broken the previous 5 minute candle high. We did right here, you can see. Okay, so this wedge pattern is no longer in play. So I'm going to remove this, but I'm going to keep this. This is still somewhat in play, and as a matter of fact, I will remove it just because I think what I would rather do is monitor the price action on support and resistance levels with these 5 minute candles. Let me just do a quick run through real quick. Let me see what these other stocks are doing, and then I will try to jump in and take some questions. MGNX. Boeing is showing a little bit of weakness here. I like that it kind of came or curled around and it popped up and had a failed breakout, and the bears pushed the price down. Bears pushed the price down. So I'd be pretty interested in seeing what we could make happen here, because if it didn't break 29, let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute and the 2 minute. Gonna break? Okay, it broke. But let's see if we get another rejection. I've told you guys before, I'll tell you again, you know, 130 is a good psychological barrier for Boeing. You know, not saying it can't break up through there. As a matter of fact, we got a lot of points of support, previous areas of support around 129, and then the next place up from there is going to be roughly between 132 and 133. So it's a little slow moving for my taste. VWLO, we're going to get that V-shaped recovery. I don't know. But, all right, guys. So, good morning, Notre Dame. Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Okay, so okay, Sagar called BMRA as a short. Yeah, I was looking at BMRA this morning, um, and you had to locate. I think they were available. Yeah, they're available. Yeah, I remember thinking though, like $6 for 200 shares. I mean, I got 1,000 of MGNX this morning for $6, or maybe it was like $7. Um, so right now, and I don't even know, MGNX probably doesn't even have shares for short anymore. Oh, they do, but you can see here 200 on MGNX for $1.40. You know, but yeah, BMRA, I was considering that for a short. Let's see. Yeah, Notre Dame, what's up, man? Hope you're doing all right. Have to go back to the dentist. Yeah, I hope you get that worked out, man. Um, Yoni B said BYND looks interesting. VWAP projection. Um, you probably typed that message when it was up here, and yeah, that would have been a good little $2 scalp there, man. Almost $3. Yeah, it would have been a nice move. Good call. Good call. Um, Stopped out of the MVIS trade from yesterday. Yeah, that trade looks like it's going nowhere right now. Um, yeah, you're right, Notre again. It's irresponsible to trade without the knowledge. Um, we need to have at least a little bit of that knowledge before trying to move forward on any trades, especially going in with any kind of significant share size. $51.47. This is where mRNA would decide to turn around and all of a sudden grow a conscience. In other words, develop a mind of its own, and like this is where I would get in to go short, and then somebody would squeeze it all the way up here to $56, which means if that happens, technically I could even just take 50 shares right here and hope for a good move. Nice long move up top. Oh, look at that. Maybe not. Man, what a dump. What a dump. Look at that. mRNA is just getting hammered. One day. The one day. Boeing still struggling, guys. Boeing is still struggling around that 129 area. I'm telling you. It just is. It's going to have a hard time breaking through 130, I think. I think we got a very strong possibility of coming down to 126 today, maybe even 125. But I'd like to see a little bit more weakness here. 29.15. I don't know, guys. Boeing looks weak. If it does not break out past 129.26, I'll consider. I mean, technically, I could take it here and then just put my stop there, but knowing Boeing, it'll do another fake out breakout. Still holding that 9 EMA on the 1 minute and the 2 minute. But this is also where you could end up missing the move, so. Okay. This could be the drop here. Let's see. We'll take a stab. We'll take a stab. Looks like we could get the drop, guys. It's fighting it, though. It's fighting it. It's holding that 20. It's holding that 20. I think if we break that 20, it'll be pretty significant. It's coming back up. I'm going to take out 25 shares right there. We'll hold 25 shares. And we'll consider adding back to those 25 shares at the break of 128.60. See here. Yeah. I think we would look for that. So if it comes above 129.15, I want to get out. So 129.15 is my stop buy point. So otherwise, I'll look for a pretty significant drop on those 25 shares. And 128.60 would be where I would want to jump back in. Another 25 shares. 2 minute. It's about to lose. I don't know. It's holding that 9 EMA. I got to run again. Good luck, Yoni, Sagar, Matt. I'll look forward to the recap video later. Tomorrow morning I'll be trading. Or it's 100 lashes for me. All right, note again. All right, take care, bud. TWLO. BYND. All right, this will be the last, probably the last trade of the day here. I'm going to look for a good significant move down to maybe a return to VWAP if possible. There we go. Now we're in 50 shares. There we go. Continuation to the downside. We need to see quick continuation to the downside. Not getting it. Boeing is really good at that chop. Really good at that chop fest. Come on, Boeing. If we don't see some resolution to the downside here and a break of that 20 EMA, gonna have to come out. Need to see a break of 128.38 here. There we go. Come on. There we go. Set our profit target. Set our first profit target. Obviously, if it turns around here, we've just got to get out. Man, Boeing is having such a difficult time. It's holding that 20. It's holding that 20, but if it loses it, we should be in pretty good shape. 128.12. $128.78. There we go. There we go. Come on. There's no reason. I mean, if it holds here, it's gonna bite. I'll have to take, I'll have to take a little bit of a loss, but maybe not a loss, but break even at least. Man, it's holding. Trying to be patient. There we go. Trying to get a breakdown. There we go. Okay, I'll take the first half off there. And let's see if we can get a good solid move down through VWAP. And I'll take the other 25 shares off at, I don't know, 120. Let's see. There you go. Come on. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Let's get that sell off there. Let's get that sell off there. 127.90. We'll take off another half at 127.56. If we can make it down there. There we go. Yeah, we should be completely going down. So I'll take 10 off at 127.46. Actually, no. I'll just take, if we get a full recovery up to 128, I'm just going to stop out the other 25 shares at 128. $80. 78. 79. See, can it make it all the way back up there? Let's see if there's a safer spot. It's on the 2-minute. Maybe I'll just give it up to 128.99. $128.98. There we go. I'll even say 96, just in case it buys up really, really quick there. That's where I'm going to have my stop for now. Stop limit. There we go. So if this does not continue to crush down, that's where I'm going to leave my stop for now. If this continues to crush down or crash down, I'm going to look for considerable enough loss, and we'll move my stop down to 128.50. We need to see where this 5-minute candle closes. Now, if the 5-minute candle closes above the 9 EMA, then, you know, obviously we'll have to look at that. This is the annoying thing about Boeing. Boeing just has an uncanny ability to be nothing but a chop fest. So we need to see where this 5-minute candle ends. This is a 2-minute, by the way, but I'll show you the 5-minute here in a minute. Just to see what this is doing on the 2-minute here. Because we've got 30 seconds left in this 2-minute. And then we'll have a minute left on the 5-minute, and I'll go back to that. Okay, so the 1 minute has recovered the 20 moving average, which is typically, I mean, that's a considerable bullish response in the short term. Okay, and then the 2-minute recovered everything. So yeah, this 5-minute is just, it's on a tear. It's on a tear. Boeing's strong, and I'm probably just gonna have to get out at a little bit of a loss. I'll see if I can get a pullback here. See if we can get break even on those last shares. Unless that was just a massive short squeeze. And I would love for that to be the case. This ends up just crumbling back down. Boeing has definitely done that many times before. So that would be very significant to see. And I'll just, let's see here. You know what? I'll do 40. Might be able to get a quick flush down there real quick. If not, I'll take the loss. There we go. Come on. Okay. Get out at 46, up $80.32. So, all right, guys, that's probably all I'm going to do for today. Nothing to brag about. We traded 850 shares, very low on the commissions. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, 20. Okay, so I'm ending the day up probably $60, $55, $56, $57 maybe, after fees and commissions. So not bad. I mean, not anything great, but, and I didn't really do any what do you call it, simulation trading today. But the markets are just kind of chopping around. I may set some alerts, and I may come back in later and just kind of see what some of this stuff is doing. TWLO, I think, would be very interesting if it cannot maintain above these levels. Wayfair is another one I'd like to check in on. Oh, wow, and look at this. What an amazing pullback on Wayfair this morning. Although, look at how choppy it was. I don't think I would have survived this, actually. I think I probably would have gotten stopped out 100 times, it would have been death by 1,000 cuts. But TWLO is interesting. It's kind of doing what Wayfair was doing, a couple days ago. So, Wayfair had this massive buy up and it came down, but it just kind of consolidated in that area and surprised everybody because, there's still no, like, I have no clue why Wayfair is still up here. Okay, but it is nonetheless, and people are sitting on it, and it's establishing support. And TWLO could end up doing the same thing. It could just end up consolidating around here. I mean, I'm sure we'll eventually get a drop back down to these levels to retest somewhere in the mid to upper 550 or 150s. But you never know. This could go on a tear today. Again, there's no previous area of resistance, and there's no reason why this couldn't go on a tear all of a sudden, and then people could start trying to, cause a squeeze all the way up to the 200s. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's more likely to consolidate here and then fail and break down it somewhere into the 150s. That's really what I'm thinking is going to happen here. And, it would even be, I would even think about maybe taking like 10 shares here and just putting a stop way up here at 170. That way, I'd only be losing like $40 on the trade. But it could potentially drop all the way down to, 156 and I could make $100. So we're sticking to even 167 or whatever. I mean, or 150, 158, whatever. If it came up to 170, I'd be losing $40. If it dropped down to 158, I'd be making $80. So that's a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio on 10 shares. But I'm sitting here at $80 on the day, and I'm thinking to myself, do you really want to give back $40 when you really honestly have absolutely no clue on which direction this stock is moving right now? And the answer is no. I really don't care. I don't care that much. But what I would rather see is another failed attempt to get up to these levels and then a curling over, because then I know that a lot of people who are buying here at the top would be ready to start dumping, especially if it started breaking down past this critical level at 164.30. I'd rather wait for that. Because one thing we do know about TWLO is it is holding all the major intraday moving averages on the 1, 2, and the 5 minute, and the 15 minute. But I'll tell you what, guys, this is kind of my move right here. This is what I like to. I love these flat tops, because you get these, for shorting more so. If you can catch it closer to the top of the flat top, it's a very, very low risk move, and then you could get, when you get a breakdown of it, if it does break this, to the downside. I mean, like I said, you're looking at a really solid move. So I don't know. The more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking maybe I will take 10 shares. I mean, let's see. The 30 minute though looks more bullish. Hourly, not so much. I guess I wouldn't have to wait all the way up to 170. I could get out. If I took 10 shares, really I'm risking about $10 if I take 10 shares. Risking about $12 maybe. Okay. That I wouldn't mind. Because again, I'm looking at making, probably $80. So really is having a hard time breaking through this level up here. Let me draw some trend lines. Let's just see what we're looking at. Okay, so that was a trend line fake out breakout. That's good, especially if it closes there. Wow. Yeah. So, okay, now I'd be risking 20 to make 80. Guess that's still decent. It's a 4-to-1 profit loss ratio, and can I risk $20? Yeah. I mean, because there's really not much of a difference in ending the day up $60 and ending the day up $40. So I suppose, well, it's taken off without me now. Look at this, guys. What a fail. So, ah, I don't know. Anyway, I'll watch it. If it continues to teeter around these levels and it does, does this a couple more times and can't break out, I may go ahead and take that, you know, 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I can risk 10, $20. That's fine. To make 80 to 100, even if it's just to make, you know, 60. Really, even risking 20 to make 40 is great. As long as you stay in that profit loss ratio. But you don't want to trade just to trade. You also want to have a very good feel about what the market is going to do. So, but anyway, all right, guys. So I'll probably watch TWLO a little bit today. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done. And I'm pretty sure when I come back to do the recap later on, you're going to see basically this same number here, $80.32. I guess at worst case scenario, you might see it say, $60.32, or at best case scenario, you might actually see it say, 120 some dollars. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to chase TWLO though. I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good on the day. So anyway, Work Diver, you're welcome, man, and thank you for always being here. Always enjoy having you here every single day, man. We have a good time. So, looks like a lot of people are pretty much out of the live stream right now. So I'm taking it. It says I got 2 viewers. I'm down to 2 viewers now. So I think I'm going to guess it's Work Diver and Yoni B. I'm just taking a guess. And look at this TWLO. Look at this TWLO. It's really cracking down, guys. This could be it. This could really be it. This could be that breakdown. And man, I'm going to kick myself for not getting in up here when there was low risk. Because now again, I'd be, let's see, I'd be risking $20 on 10 shares. I'd be risking $20 on 10 shares here. See if it does it. See if we can get a nice little chop action here. Get it to come all the way back up. $165. Here it goes. Probably it. And then it cracks 164.30 and it's game over for this stock. Look at that. I'm telling you, all these guys up here, man, they were waiting. Another thing, if it was hitting like this area right here, this has strong consolidation, even had a breakthrough but maintained above it. So if this had come down to here and then was coming down to here, I would say, yeah, that's probably a double bottom. But right now, I think it's losing its value. And I think if it cracks 164.30, we could see a significant move. see what this looks like on the 30-minute now. 163.59 is really what it needs to break on that 30-minute and the hourly. Oh yeah, this could definitely come down to 157, 158 today. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'll be blown away if it doesn't. I'll be blown away if it doesn't. But, you know, again, you got to think about Wayfair, right? So see if it gets bought up. If it gets bought up, this will be a double bottom for sure. You know, and technically it didn't, you know, it didn't make a lower low here. It's a higher low. But if it gets this rejection and comes back below here, I'm pretty sure we're going to be on track to, yeah. So anyway, that's what I'll be watching today, guys. So again, good to see you guys. Work Diver, have a good afternoon. And yeah, I'll put that recap up later. All right, take care.